Hi, welcome to this fortnight's video blog. Thanks for linking in. Really appreciate your time. As you know, in these video blogs, I just like to take one leadership thought and expand it out for a few moments, hopefully to help us lead a bit better. Sometimes those thoughts are in the bigger picture organisational sense. Sometimes they're in the personal issues of leadership. And the last few have been like that, and just another one today. And that's the thought of, leaders, do you love to lead or do you love the people you lead? Do you love to lead or do you love the people you lead? It might sound like a strange question, and I don't want to give the impression you can't do both, because you can, but even in the case of doing both, which is more important? Do you love to lead, or do you actually love the people you lead and can take on a journey in leadership? The reason I want to look at that thought today is for two reasons. One, leadership can be addictive. You can just love vision and casting a vision, developing strategy. You can love charts and spreadsheets and the big picture and getting all that stuff. It can get into your head. And sometimes in that process, you can just see people as the means of getting to the end, as part of helping you get to a successful place or getting the KPIs done. You can just see people in that light. The second reason for looking at this thought is that you can only lead people. You can't lead a task. You can't lead just that, inanimate object. You can't lead a vision. You lead people towards a vision. You cannot lead a strategy. You lead people with a strategy. You can't lead a KPI or a plan. You lead people with a plan. You lead people to help you in a plan. You can only ever lead people. You just can't lead a task or a thing. You have to lead people in that. So that's why I want to look at that today. And the question for us, I guess, is how do you know which is which? How do you know if you're just loving to lead more than loving to lead people, or loving people more than just loving to lead? And I think it's a matter of just asking questions of yourself and questions of the people you lead. So questions you probably need to ask yourself are, how much do you genuinely want your people to be the best people they can be? Not just to get their job done, but you actually take a genuine interest in the things that matter to them. How much do you want people to be a bigger person by the time they've dealt with you, by the time you've led them some distance, whether it's for 6 months, 6 years, 26 years? Have they become a bigger person? I don't mean physically, but I mean, have they become a bigger human being and a better version of themselves in that period of time? How much do you take a great interest in them? That's an important question. Probing a little bit deeper, how much do you provide resources or budget finances for their personal and professional development, for them to become bigger people? Do they feel they're resourced well enough and you care enough about them to prioritise their well-being and their growth? How much do you champion people when you see activities and attitudes that are just great to see in an organisation? How much do you champion them? No doubt there are many more questions, but they're just some of the questions that we need to ask ourselves as leaders, as to whether we really love the people we lead, whether they really have an impact on those people, those questions and more. And secondly, we need to be able to ask people themselves, do they recognise that we love to lead or love to lead them? And that's a courageous thing to do and a brave thing to do when you ask people about your own leadership style. It's important to do that. So questions I would be asking people is, do they feel genuinely contributing to the value of the organisation or the task that you're leading them in? Do they feel like they're genuine contributors, or do they feel like they are fodder for someone else's vision, just a cog in a wheel, a part of a conveyor belt of getting to a conclusion rather than being a vital part of that? Do they feel they are heard? Do they know that they're cared for? Do they feel like they're a valuable contributor? That's the questions you would need to ask people, and they're really important questions. And and put those two together, ones you genuinely ask of yourself and others that you're brave enough to ask of your team members, and you'll get to know whether you really do want the best for them and love them, or whether you're just getting a job done and they're sort of part players or bit players in that task, in the getting that job done. And you know, the thing is, if you love the people you lead, everyone wins. If you love the people you lead and they get better, then you get better, and the organisation gets better, and the not-for-profit gets better, or the church you lead gets better, or the business you lead gets better. If you allow yourself to give to people and invest in people well, so that they know that you care for them and they know they're valuable in the organisation, they'll be better, and everyone will be better, and everyone will win in that process. So that's a really important thing. Love the people you lead. And love is not just soft and fluffy. It's not just a soppy sentimentalism. It's actually practical actions you take, practical attitudes you have, practical concerns you pick up that will want the best for someone else. It doesn't mean, you know, everyone you lead's your best friend. It doesn't mean they come to dinner every night or any of that. But it does mean that they know that you've got their back, that you care for them, and you want the best for them through all circumstances. You want them to be the best version of themselves they can be. It's really important that they know that in their own space. As I said, love is not just a sloppy thing. Actually, love is a transformative thing for people. It's transformative for you. It's a change agent for people. It's a change agent for organisations. It's the thing that will transform and make a difference if you're genuine in the way you care and love practically in an attitude for people. And that's why one of the most important questions I think we can ask ourselves as leaders is, do you love to lead? I hope you do. But do you love the people you lead? Really love the people you lead in that process of leadership. So leaders, do you love to lead, or do you love the people you lead? Hey, really appreciate your feedback. Love your feedback in all the ways possible, in Facebook, in LinkedIn, on the website timhanna.com.au, where you'll see all the previous blogs, as you will on the YouTube channel, where you can also give feedback as well. So thanks again for linking in. Until next time, stay well, live well, and love well. Take care.